I kind of hate this yarn. That is a strong thing to say about yarn, but I have got some strong feelings about this. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle, and in my quest to knit up my Hobby Lobby clearance yarn, yesterday afternoon I tackled Sugar and Cream Scrub Off by Lily. I saw this on clearance in 2021 and was really curious about it, but it was sold out in my stores. This year they had different colorways. So I picked up two skeins, and what I wanted to find out was how they mix the smooth cotton yarn with the scritchy stuff. I was curious how that worked, and wow, I am disappointed. Look at how they joined this yarn. It is the two strands side by side with, I'm not sure if that white wrapping around the red is part of the scrubby yarn or if they've used the third yarn to put them together, but I'm not a fan. It's clearer here that they just laid two lengths of yarn together and then wrapped them with a third thread. It's messy. You can see what it does when you knit with it as is. If I was combining two yarns for a project, I wouldn't be satisfied with the solution, and I am not devoted enough to this project to do it differently than just knitting it from what's on the skein, but this is not making me happy. Here's another example of where the yarn transitioned and you wind up with just ends hanging out. I don't know how this will hold up as I use the finished project. I don't have a lot of faith in it. I did finish my dishcloth. I did not weave in all of the ends because I couldn't work up the motivation for that. Every time the yarn transitions, it is a mess. If I wanted to make a dishcloth that mixed the scrubby yarn and the smooth kitchen cotton, I would buy a skein of scrubby yarn and a skein of kitchen cotton, and I would splice it myself and do it right. There's no way I'm going to actually do that. I'm just saying if I wanted to do that, that's what it would take. The way that they have done it in these skeins does not work. The cotton is, I think, just the regular Lily Sugar and Cream yarn, which I love for its intended purpose. It is great. The scrubby portion of the yarn really reminds me of the Yarn Bee Scrubology that I bought and used last year. I'm still not a fan of it. It's a novelty yarn. It's not my thing. Original price on this yarn was $4.99. It took me, we have a convenient tape measure here. So my dishcloth is a little over 8 inches wide, and it took me almost a full skein to make it, which makes this a $5 dishcloth. No. Do you see how grungy this looks? It looks worse in real life, and this stuff hasn't been in my stash long enough to get dirty. I looked up some other reviews, and other knitters had the exact same complaints, so it's not me, it's the yarn. Between the white looking grungy and the transitions between the yarns looking so messy, I use fancy dishcloth cotton to knit gifts. This is not a gift. This is, I don't even know what this is. So I paid $1.24 on clearance. There are 106 yards in the skein. Even on sale, I don't think this stuff was worth it. I suppose one of these days I will need a project and I might knit up the second skein into a second dishcloth, but I would not under any circumstances buy this stuff again on purpose. It's always fun to experiment with new yarns, and sometimes you find things you love, sometimes you find things you're less than impressed by, and now and then you find something like this, which is just awful. But maybe you've knitted with it. Maybe you did. I get a bad skein? If your experience differs from mine, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I did, as I said, read some other comments online, and they seem to match up with my opinions, so I don't think I'm that far off base. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle. This is my romantic tangle. I've been knitting with some other yarns that are a lot more fun than this, and I'll do videos about those soon.